I'm Michelle from Travel HerStory, and I'm going to show you how to start earning from your blog in under 10 minutes. To get ahead of the game of earning, make sure you sign up with my referral code here, which I'll link in the comments below as well. It gets you a $100 bonus once you hit 100 bookings, which you'll have in no time at all once you follow this video. Just like any other sign up, you put in your email address and password. I already have one, so I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to hit login instead. Then you're going to find yourself on this home page. You're going to see my revenue for this month, my transactions, and my average commissions. But what you want to do to get started is hit Script Builder. You'll see I have two already. I've done a tutorial for this before. That's why I have duplicates, so don't worry about mine. That's why it also says inactive, because they're duplicates. What you need to do is hit Create Script. Make sure your domain is in there. I skip URLs for Deep Construct just because I don't need it for my site. But then scroll down to see what you have enabled. For me, Get Your Guide I do on another platform, so that's why it's disabled here. Make sure everything you want enabled is enabled. If not, reach out to your Stay22 rep. Once you hit that create script, you're going to be on a page like this. There are instructions over here how to install, but I'm going to show you right now so you can see how easy it is. Just hit the copy code, and then what we're going to do is, if you've never installed a plugin and you're on WordPress, you're going to hit Add Plugin. You can see the plugins on the side here. I have Code Snippets. I like it because it's free and it's simple to use. So just type that into the search bar here. You can see mine's already active, but if it wasn't, it would say something like install now, and then you hit the button again to activate it. So we're going to go to my Code Snippets right here, and then header and footer. So this is where I put codes for a lot of different stuff. My Google tags, my Get Your Guide analytics, and then you can see my Let Me Allows. What I typically do, just because you don't want to interject the code into other code by accident, I scroll to the bottom, hit the return a couple times so I have new lines, and then just paste. I'm gonna undo that right now just so I don't screw up my own code, but you would just hit save changes once you pasted it. And then it's installed. How we're gonna check that it's working is we're gonna go to my home page, I'm gonna right click, hit inspect element, go to console and scroll up, and you can see the Let Me Ls rainbow script here. If you need more information, they do have a whole guide on how to verify your script is working, but that's the long and short of how it works. Aside from installing the script, what you can do is create links. So you're going to go to the alias generator. I'm going to take this booking.com link. So this is a property I stayed at in Belize. So I want to link to it. So I'm going to copy the URL up here in my search bar and then go back to the alias generator and paste it here. You can do campaign IDs. I don't typically do that. It's more for tracking and things like that. Then you just hit generate. So I'd hit copy alias link. And if I wanted to embed it, let's say into a blog post, and we're going to pretend we're writing a blog post, and we would just highlight the words, and you can either hit link here and paste in the URL and then just hit this submit button, or what I've been doing is, it's just a shortcut, highlighting it and then hitting paste, and that will, you can see it's still linked it here. Now let's say you want to create a map. This is my Where to Stay in Salzburg, Austria guide, and towards the top I have a map from Stay22. It's going to take a second. And these little bubbles I created are the different areas I talk about further down in the guide. We can look at my table of contents here as an idea. So I have 6 main areas for accommodations in Salzburg, and I pinned those areas so that when people are reading the guide, they have a general idea of where I'm talking about on a map. The great thing about maps is people can search directly on your page. You can put in their dates, how many people, and all kinds of other specifications like budget and hotel star rating. Then they'd hit see accommodations. Let's just put in some random dates so it can show you. And it will generate a page on a separate tab so that it's not interfering with your blog. Now, how to create those maps. Go to the maps on the sidebar here, and you can see I have quite a few different ones. I name them by the blog post I'm doing or the city I'm doing. In this case, it was Where to Stay in Ljubljana. Hit create map, name it, put the address. The address I usually just typically put the city. I don't enter dates. If you're specifically doing rentals or hotels, you can change that here. You can change your color to your brand color. If you're partnering with a specific hotel, you can enter that here. So say I got a sponsored stay at some hotel. This is where I'd add that information so that it shows up prominently on my map. And then points of interest is where I do those pins for the locations for different parts of the city so that it makes it a little bit easier for users to see. From there, I would just hit generate map. And then it would take me back to this screen where I can just hit copy, map, embed code. So let's say we want to embed that. I just hit copy. Go back to this great post we're writing over here. If you hit this add block and then search HTML, edit HTML, paste in the code, update. So you can see my Ljubljana map embedded in here just fine just by pasting that code with the HTML. Something else I really like about Stay22 is their Spark feature. So say I forget to add a link or I'm just lazy that day. I was very lazy on my post, how to plan an American Southwest National Parks road trip for non-hikers post the other day. I had just added a where to stay section. And you can see all these hotels are linked. But let me show you what it looks like on the back end, because I promise you I did not do any of that homework. So if we scroll down to my where to stay near these Southwest National Park section, you will see that none of those hotels are linked. Again, I was lazy the night I was editing this. I was like, I'll get back to it later, but then I actually checked the next day and it was all linked by Stay22's Spark. Now, would I recommend that you always just rely on Spark? No, especially if you have a specific hotel you're partnering with. You definitely want to make sure it connects to the right hotel because sometimes, let's say maybe they don't have a booking.com link or an Expedia link. Sometimes it will do its best guess. So if you are trying to be specific, I would make sure to do that. But if it's something like this where I'm just kind of recommending some random hotels in the area that I stayed near, Spark is fine to rely on in certain cases. And then the last thing I like doing with Stay22 is Nova. So Nova is the feature that will, if a user is on your page and they're really looking at all your Paris posts, it's going to assume that they are going on a trip to Paris soon and will open a new tab with Booking.com or Expedia or one of their other programs they're associated with so that people can book while they're there and you get those affiliate commissions. And I hope you found this super helpful. Here is my referral link, which again gets you $100 bonus once you hit 100 bookings, which between Spark, Nova, the maps, and links, it's super easy to do. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below.